Yo, what's up, duelists? It's RBT Rulers weekend, and today is the day before RBT Rulers. And I'm playing a couple different meta decks today. I'm playing Quick Draw and I'm playing Value Turbo. Right now, I'm playing Value Turbo. This is the not that. This is the list I am playing. It looks like a Value Turbo list. The big difference here is I'm main decking Mind Crush and I'm side decking one Thunder King. The reason being is I want to improve the Dragon Turbo matchup. Dragon Turbo has won two different RBETs. It's a deck that at RBET Rulers, I think people need to start respecting, just because it can really have a significant run even against some of the best players. Because when the deck draws well, it draws well, and there really is there's no like big difference here. Oh fuck! I accidentally drew an extra card. Sorry, misclick. Shuffle this shit. Alright. I kind of wanted to draw that right. Go fuck. Alright, whatever. It's cool. We're chilling. I would have shuffled my deck anyway, because I would summon Grepher, activate Grepher, pitch Value, send Sirocco, and then I think I'm gonna summon my monster just to play around bottomless. Basically, I think it's the safest thing to do, and I'm gonna set 2 and just basically say he doesn't have Heavy Storm. We have a fast hand. We're going first. I'm gonna set up my trap cards. I'm going to set up my whole board. I'm not really going to think about it too much. This also makes his Dust Shoot dead. This also makes his, basically his Bottomless and his Dust Shoot are now dead cards. His Solemn is, like, kind of bad now, too. So that it at least, like, kills 5 cards out of his deck to go for this opening. I don't know what he's playing. Instant Fusion. So this could be zombies. This could be fish. All I did say was, like, I wanted to play a meta deck. So I'm going to Royal Oppression this. I don't want to face whatever's coming in after that. Okay, Mariner reveals a bit of lag there. I was trying to flip my thing and explain my thing. But yes, we did see Mariner revealed. So it's possible this is some sort of Diva Hero deck. It's possible that this is whatever, but I think just committing here is fine. Space Typhoon is interesting. It can shut off our own oppression if we need to. I will actually set the Space Typhoon. So because you use Instant Fusion, I'm going to attack with Grepher. I still don't know what he's playing. Let's see what it is. Treeborn Frog. So it looks like he's playing Hero Frogs with Instant Fusion, which is cool. I think that's a cool tech. I definitely am going to set my Space Typhoon now, just because if they have a trap card, I'll want to end phase snipe it. And then if they don't have a trap card, then we got to do what we got to do. Here comes Treeborn Frog. He could have Kai's here. That'd be really bad. He could have something like Ryza. That'd be pretty bad. Most of these situations are bad for us, depending on what he targets here. See what he wants to target. He wants to target the Armed Wing. That is okay. We do have Bottomless. We're not going to take that 1,000 burn, which is kind of nice. It doesn't. I don't think it'll matter too much, but because it's not a Caius, that's what I mean. Yeah, drawing Gores here is really funny, but we could Typhoon our own oppression to make it live. Couple of options. We could pitch the Sirocco to make another Armed Wing, and I'm kind of on board for that. I think putting him at 700 and then having brain control is pretty crazy, so I'm just going to run that. I'm going to run that Gambit. A lot of this game, I think, went down right because we went first. I think if we had gone second, this would have been kind of tricky. This is normally a trickier matchup for us, but we had our best start, which is Grepher, Value, and Sirocco, and we were able to deal 4,000 damage quick and stop his power play. So, yeah, I think we're in kind of a chill phase. We're in the chill phase right now. I don't know what else he has, but against Frog Hero, Royal Oppression actually does do a lot of work. So I'm a fan, you know? I'm a fan of this card in this matchup. Treeborn Frog's coming back. I feel like if you have it in your side deck, you would side it in this matchup, just because it stops enough, you know? Here comes Sack for Thestalos. That's pretty good. This could hit our brain control. I'm gonna say, okay, if this hits our brain control, we might lose this game. This is a stabilizing force for him. He's going to hit the Gores, which, sadly for him, is not going to be a stabilizing situation. He could have a Battle Fader still, but we do have Royal Oppression, so I think we actually just win this one. He's going to attack over one of my monsters. On our turn, we're going to brain control the Thestalos, and we're going to attack him for game. So he's probably thinking now whether to attack over the Grepher or the Armed Wing. It's always the Grepher. You can't risk giving me Plague Access. Yep. Although, technically, it's probably fine because Royal Oppression is face up, but he can't pay for it, so. Drawing Heavy Storm, it is a really good thing we had a fast start this game, because we did draw the Dead Heavy Storm and the Dead Space Typhoon. He also had Brain Control in his hand, so showing us he would have defeated us earlier. He could have Brain Control one of our monsters and sacked it for Thestalos to clear both our monsters. I think that might have been a better play, but ultimately he would have fallen to the Brain Control there, so lucky for us, we went first. What can I say? We got Heavy Storm. We're going to side that bad boy out. I actually think Hamster is pretty bad versus Frog Hero and Monarchs in general. Raikou in general is pretty bad too, but you could also supplement it by just like bringing in the 2 Pulling the Rugs. And I think Pulling the Rug, backing up a Raikou, is pretty solid in this matchup. Raikou is also a pretty consistent way to clear the dupe block, which can be really annoying. I think Deep Prison and Mirror Force are not at their best in this matchup, particularly Mirror Force, just because it destroys the monster, so it'll put things like Unifrog in the graveyard, it'll put stuff like Hero Monsters in the graveyard. So I think that this is a pretty easy side out, generally speaking. Space Typhoon can also be an easy side out, but he might have a lot of back row. We don't really know. We don't really know what his back row situation is like. I do like Dyna somewhat, usually, but against this deck, they have a lot of normal summons that can run it over, so I'm going to go with the Vanities instead. DD Crow has some applications, so does Deck Devastation Virus, but I think, once again, because he's on that Miracle plus Hero package, I don't really want to be sacrificing my threat. I kind of just want to keep my threat around. I think DD Crow has a lot of merit, and I think I do want to side some number of DD Crow in. I'm just not sure over what. I might side out Mind Crush. Mind Crush can kill Battle Fader, which is crucial. It can also hit... That's about it, really. Let's just side out Mind Crush for a DD Crow. I think that might be useful. And from this point, maybe a Deep Prison for another DD Crow. And then, yeah, I think this is about okay. Dyna does have applications. I'm not going to lie and say Dyna doesn't have applications in this matchup. It's obviously very good. It's very good if you can summon an Armdwing and then summon the Dyna. But as it stands, I think going with the Vanities and the Oppression is going to be my approach to this, because the monsters that they're big specialing is the Miracle Fusion guys, and then we have Pulling the Rugs for the Monarchs. So we can just kind of chill and vibe and hope that this works out. So this is the type of hand that I think Vayu Turbo loses with the most. It's got Plague Spreader, Vayu, and Raikou. So 3 like really, really weak normal summons. And if he has like 1 Monarch, we're basically behind the entire game. So like I pretty much do lose if this remains to be the type of hand that I have, if that makes sense. Like Vayu and Plague Spreader are garnets. They're not good cards to have in your hand without Dark Grepher. Just straight up. They are the bricks that Vayu Turbo plays. Raikou, the first one is sometimes okay if you can defend it well, but we can't defend it well in this hand. Repeated Raikous past this point, like Charge of Light Brigade, any further Raikous in our hand past this point become subsequently much, much worse. Him sitting in back row is interesting. It's probably Dust Shoot. So if we could Dust Shoot it here, it's an even worse situation for us. Armageddon Knight is not the best draw, but it's at least a little bit more active than what we had going on before. I'm okay with just sitting Raikou. So I don't want to make my opponent's Space Typhoon live. I want to force him to sacrifice one of his monsters in play for a Monarch if he has a Monarch for my Raikou. I don't want to make this back row live by setting a trap card into it, basically. So this turn, he's not able to use his back row. Let's say he set a Dust Tornado like preemptively, something like that. Now he can't use it. He does have Soul Exchange, so we do get punished, but at least we force the Soul Exchange, and we're not getting attacked this turn. Maybe it's possible I should have set Lone Plague Spreader as a way to bait a Soul Exchange, but I think this is okay. Again, we're not getting attacked this turn. This is basically the same situation we were in last turn. I don't know. And we can go ahead and just continue to set our monsters here. I think we could also summon Armageddon Knight. Summon Armageddon Knight's not bad. What does it do for us? If I summon Armageddon Knight, I think he's going to sack the Substitute for something, right? Summon Armageddon Knight isn't great. I think I'm going to set Plague. I think I'm going to set Plague here, because this gives us the most options for next turn if I don't get Caiused. And I don't think I'm getting Caiused because he couldn't burn his back row. And I think he's going to be a little bit greedy about wanting to sacrifice his Substitute for Caius. If he does have Caius here, he should just sack his Substitute for it and just, like, press his advantage. But if he doesn't have Caius, then setting Plague gives us the most options for next turn, because it gives us 2 summons next turn, which our hand, like, already doesn't have. I like this play from him. I actually really like this play from him. I think it's a strong assessment of the situation, recognizing that he's super far ahead. Having that extra substitute is not necessary. It's kind of, if anything, greedy to keep it around. And it's possible that me maybe not setting the bottomless there is silly, but I think it's just a situation where, like, obviously the back row's dead. It's got to be Space Typhoon or Dust Tornado at this point. There's really no question about it. It could be Regeki Break maybe. Now he has another back row, so I feel more confident setting cards. But yeah, if I had drawn the Pulling the Rug last turn, maybe I would have felt better about setting it. I'm going to set the Vayu. I'm going to set Bottomless. I'm going to set Pulling the Rug. Maybe we get double Dusted here. Maybe we get double Regeki Break. Who knows? We'll figure it out. It's possible I should have led on different cards, though. It's possible I should have led on Raikou and led on something other than Play Spreader, because I kind of predicted how this sort of situation was going to go down, and yet I didn't adjust my play accordingly. It was Dust Tornado, and he is going to hit Pulling the Rug, which is the better of our two back row, sadly, but, I mean, we're already losing this game. There's no way we're coming back from this game. We had no plays. We're just behind a normal summon, and the Vayu Turbo deck can do nothing when it's behind a normal summon and you don't have Grepher. You just get run over. Like, this is just textbook, my deck is very slow situation, versus I'm going second and I have no way to really parry that. It's possible I should have set the bottomless, though. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Sirocco. Not the best draw, I'm going to be honest. Not the best draw. It will give us a play next turn, but not a great one. I'll say that much. Not a great one. We're basically just playing to survive at this point. I'm going to have to sacrifice my Armed Wing for a Caius just to clear his Caius, and we're just behind. We're just behind a lot of cards. We're behind in life. We're behind on board. We're behind in setup. His graveyard is super stacked. His miracles are live. Everything about what he's doing is just kind of going over the top of us. And so I think I might need to adjust my strategy a little bit more for Game 2 and Game 3. We shall see, though. We shall see. This was just a classic, like, Vayu Turbo draw, where we drew all normal summons. None of them were Grepher. We didn't have the right trap cards. He had back row removal for our trap cards. He had the Caius to press his initiative. We have the couple of Caius, the only two Caius we play, locked up in our hand. We drew a second Raikou. Once again, like, very diminishing returns here. Because I set this Raikou. Let's just say he has another Monarch. I mean, I'm just dead, like, on board. So I basically have to Caius him to not die to a top deck Caius. I'll activate Vayu. He might have a DD Crow. He does. Okay. Now I'm kind of forced to set Raikou. I just don't have another play. So I'll set the Raikou and pass. The Vayu did trade with a real card, but it also furthers my bad position of I've been setting monsters to not just randomly die. Here comes a second Dust Tornado. So we know he's got Crows, Dust Tornadoes, Soul Exchange, potentially as a sideboard or a main deck card. It's good to know about these types of things. Because he has so much back row, I feel pretty comfortable, like, with my decision to leave in my Space Typhoon. But I also, like, don't know necessarily if this is where we want to be. So this Raikou gonna flip. I think we just have to destroy the Caius. We're under too much pressure. We'll find another way to deal with the Dupe Frogs, but we had to destroy the Caius. There was my Space Typhoon. I kind of wanted to draw that, sadly. But it's okay. We have Armageddon Knight to set up the next Vayu. We have a Burial as well, which is very nice. So Burial is a good draw here. I'm going to go Armageddon Knight and activate the effect. We've lost our Plague, but we can put it back with Burial. So that's kind of nice. I'll send Vayu. And I will just pass. I mean, this is a bad situation, but it's just where we're at, you know. We've had to normal summon every single turn of the game, and as a result, you see what's going down. You see what's happening here. Opponent really hasn't had to do much in order to dominate. Yeah, that's a crush. Well. We are getting fucking destroyed. Alright. No, it's cool. It's cool. I wanted to draw like this. So he's 3,500. We're going to take 2,100 because the Dupe Frogs do pump up the absolute zero. We're at 2,500. I'm going to check my draw next turn and we're going to see what's up. But realistically, we're done here. Gale. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. So we do have to burn our Vayu to try and get this Caius down to answer this absolute zero. We're basically 2-for-1ing ourselves yet again, not dealing any damage, and he still retains the initiative. If he has bottomless, I mean, that's even more tough, you know? So I'll go summon Armed Wing, sacrifice for Caius. Caius has to target the absolute zero. And that's going to destroy the Caius. And I will pass. I don't want to put anything into play that he could Caius, but, you know, he might just have another hero and a miracle to close things out. So, we'll see. Sack. Gores. That'll do it. So, tough match. He had the turn 1 substitute set up. He had the Caius follow up on the turn he needed it. He had the soul exchange to clear my Raikou. He kind of just had what he needed to have there to win the game. And he had a bunch of back row as well to supplement that situation. So, really solid setup from him. On our side of things, it was tough. We drew a bunch of our like little normal summon guys and no way to really get going because we just didn't have a way to take back that initiative. So for this game, I'm going to bring in the Dinos because we are going first. And I'm going to bring in the... It's tough to want to bring in the battle traps. But they would have kept us alive that last game in a way that some of these normal summons would not have. I am going to cut Raikou. Just one. I think that this card is very bad versus the deck that's monarching you every turn or has soul exchanges or whatever. And I'm bringing in a couple of flip effect monsters, so I don't really want to have too many normal summons here. DD Crow, maybe not as impactful if we have Dyna already in play. So I'm going to side those back out. It will stop Miracle, but so does Dyna, and so does the Battle Traps, technically, so I'm cool with that. I may bring in the Heavy Storm because he had so much back row. I think that that's, like, not the worst decision. I'm going to side out Necro Gardener. I think that card's pretty weak. It does defend the Dyna, though. I just think it's pretty weak. I'm going first, too. I think we're fine without the heavy. I think this is fine. I'm not certain about it, but I think it's fine. I'm not complaining. So we opened up with basically our start from last game, which is pretty cool. And I think it's right to go for it. Just because, I don't know, based swag, you know? Based swag, I think is the phrase. Otherwise, what am I doing? Just setting a Dyna I can't protect, you know? Or normaling a Dyna I can't protect? It just seems kind of silly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the Grepher. I'm going to activate, pitch Vayu, send Sirocco. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to attack, or I'm not going to activate the Vayu this turn because I have Dark Arm Dragon. So I'm going to set Royal Oppression. I'm going to pass. I don't need to activate this. He also doesn't play... it does give him an extra draw towards DD Crow, but he doesn't play Bottomless Trap Hole, as far as I know. So there's no real reason for me to wait, or not wait on it. I'm just going to wait on it. It does give him an extra draw towards Crow, but like, okay, if he has the Crow, he has the Crow. I just pitch the Sirocco and then send a Vayu, and then I have 3 Darks. So it's like fine. You know what I mean? But if he doesn't have the Crow, then this is also based. This is also fine. We can go Armed Wing plus... Okay, Soul Exchange. So this is a good reason to wait. He's going to sacrifice my Grepher, and he's going to put me at... we're going to Royal Oppression this. I do not want this to resolve. Yeah, we now have 3 Darks, but Royal Oppression's face up, so that's a little silly. That being said, his Gores is still alive, so we are going to still summon the Dyna. Like, absolutely still summon the Dyna. So, let's see if the Vayu's going to resolve. I'm going to just not spam the Dark Arm for 800 damage. I think that that's fine to hold. Because he has to out the Oppression to play anyway. So let's go summon Dyna. Battle phase 35. And hopefully this is good enough to like lock him up. His Soul Exchange being gone is very good for me. I don't know if he should have gone for the Soul Exchange there. I think he might have wanted to hold that. It might be until he has another one. But again, he needs to have the other one, you know what I mean? And we're making him have it. Okay, set. Interesting. Very interesting. I think there's really no reason not to summon this value. It's a third dark for our dark armed. If we get torrential or some shit, I don't fucking know. And it's just more damage. I will attack with Armed Wing just because of the nature of the 2,000 defenders in the deck. And I will get absolutely obliterated by Mirror Force. Well, at least we have a live value. I want to do it now. But he could sack his guy for a Monarch. And it's more likely he has a Monarch than a Crow. So I'm just going to pass. I don't want to do it yet. I also might want to do something next turn where I normal Sirocco first, then activate it, then pump. And that gives me game through Gores. So, normal Duprog, sure. Flip Duprog, alright. Cool. So, we have a Caius. Where does that get us? It gets us 2,300 damage, but more importantly, it sets him behind on board. So I'll try to activate my value now. Let's see if he has drawn Crow since. Him drawing double Dewfrog is kind of the equivalent of us drawing Value Plague last game. So both decks kind of showing their weaker sides in this match. Sacrifice for Caius. Caius activates. Battle phase, attack the Dupe Frog. I have 2 darks. Caius would be the third. Not quite at the place where I can play Dark Armed as a burn spell. He's going to search Swap Frog. I'm going to pass. But at this point, I think we're firmly in control. He would have needed to draw something pretty good there in order to come back from this. He does have 5 cards. So set monster, set back row. Onwards. Onwards, friends. Let's just attack. See what he's got. Set there. Maybe a Snowman Eater. Something like that. Could be a Treeborn Frog. He hasn't yet gotten access to the Treeborn Frog. Looks like he's thinking here on the attack. Okay. Regeki Rake. Pitching Swap Frog, targeting Caius. That's okay. I will just pass. I kind of want to get this guy in the grave somehow, but I think maybe sitting him is not ideal. Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's why we leave this in. We can Typhoon our own Royal Oppression. Normal summon Sirocco. Special summon Dark Armed. Activate. Banishing the Grepher. And we win the match. So, very lucky starts from us. GG's. I will offer a rematch. Let's get 2 matches with Value Turbo. I don't know how much time you have, but would like to play 4 matches total. 2 matches with Value Turbo, 2 matches with Quick Draw would be ideal. I think this matchup is bad for Value Turbo, but normally it's the more Monarch heavy version that's bad for it basically. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. This hand is ass. This hand is really bad. I'm consistently underimpressed with Armageddon Knight in this matchup in specific. I lost my train of thought. 1 for 1. Pitching. Okay. Turn 1. Substitute. This is good. This is gonna... It's gonna be hard for me to... How do I say it? Come back with this hand. We don't have a lot of proactive ways of dealing with this circumstance, this situation. Most of the ways we have of dealing with it involve us going minus, or somehow him just not having follow-up, which I find very difficult to believe. We don't play like Lightning Vortex or Smashing Ground or any of that kind of stuff. So Caius does out it. Caius does out it. So I think this turn is going to be normal Armageddon, activate, send Vayu, because I don't want to draw it. Look, we would have drawn it. That's crazy. And then I will set Bottomless first and Deep Prison second. Last game I set my higher value one second. This game I'm setting it first. Just kind of mixing up my set orders, basically. I don't think it really matters too much. This turn he can set up a full dupe block. Oh no, his dupe frog is gone. He had to pitch it to 1-for-1. But he could go for a Unifrog, so I do have Deep Prison. Treeborn is okay. My hand is not good. Heavy Storm. Righteous. Well. Hold. Oh. Okay, well. Honestly, could be worse. Could be worse. I think he takes Dark Armed. It probably just takes Dark Armed. Because, like, otherwise I go Summon Plague, Synchro, Special Dark Armed, like, if he takes Caius. And if he takes Plague, then I just sack for Caius and I have Dark Armed looming, so. I think this is the best take is Dark Armed. Just because, like, you can deal with a Caius, or you can deal with, like, a Plague in my hand later. But you can't really deal with a Dark Armed coming down this turn. So, I think what he should do is definitely take the Dark Armed. But it is a little bit sad that our Dark Armed is going back to the deck here. I would have liked to have him in my hand. He is kind of the best card in our deck, sadly. But sometimes it just happens, you know? Plague? That can't be right. That can't be right. Maybe he has a way to hate out my graveyard. I don't know. I just don't think that that's right. Because I can just go boom, boom, activate. And now I still have my Dark Armed. I'm pretty sure that's a mistake, but what do I know? I am simply a duelist. I feel like you just take Dark Armed and like you just ignore the Caius or whatever synchro I make. Like who cares if I have... Like taking Plague is like you're taking the brick out of my hand. Like now I have follow-up. Whereas if you took the Dark Armed, I wouldn't have follow-up. I would either have synchroed or I would have sacked for Caius. But either way, I have a dead Caius or I have a dead Plague in my hand. So he took the only thing that gave me 2 plays. If he took either one of the other ones, he left me with only 1 play, basically. So I think it's definitely the better choice to take the Dark Armed here, just because it's my follow-up. Like, it's what I'm doing next, you know? And there's no way I'm not going to get a third Dark in my grave at some point. Oh, this makes sense. This makes sense. I'm totally just lying. I don't know what I'm talking about. He's going to discard the Dark Armed. We're going to take 700. And, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. He knew I couldn't Dark Armed that turn, and so he wanted to discard it. That's pretty good. My Crush is a terrible draw. We have no cards in hand. Pretty silly. That being said, there's no real reason to not set it, except for if we want to conceal a back row that we draw on a future turn. I think crashing is kind of stupid, just because it eliminates the value of our Deep Prison. So what I'm going to do is pass. The situation is bad, though. We are getting frogged here. We're certainly getting frogged. Man. I think it's kind of sad we didn't get a Collector's Rare Substitute. I think that would have been really cool. Ah. The other punish for holding my Mind Crush. Wow. That's something, isn't it? I will Deep Prison this. That's fine with me. He should attack here too as well. Don't give me the choice. If you give me the choice, then I draw Plague or I draw a conversion. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Don't give me the choice. Crash them. Crash the Caius. Yep. That's why you crashed there. Well, we're fucked, but he has nothing either, so maybe we can piece something together. Top deck a Grepher or something. Hit him for 4,000 twice. I don't know. It's very unlikely that that's happening, but Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. He's got the hero online now, so his Miracle Fusions are live. Our draw for turn is Grepher. So the question is whether or not we pitch the Caius to send the Sirocco. I think the answer is yes. Just because, like, what else are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I need to get these graveyard boys set up. I need to have maybe a turn in the future where I'm activating that shit. So I'm going to go ahead and attack this ocean, deal 200, pass the turn. Maybe I could have waited, but if he just has a way of beating my Grepher, which I'm assuming he does, like his whole deck is cards that beat Grepher at this point. Yeah, like it was silly to hold the Caius, you know? Like, because I'm just sitting on a Caius and then it's not going anywhere. It's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because that's my last Caius too. So now I don't really have a great conversion off this value thing. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Maybe we can get a bit lucky. If his last few cards are like Space Typhoon, Heavy Storm shit, then maybe we can do that. He's already used Heavy Storm, so this is just like a pipe dream, but we got to play the game, you know, and can't just give up yet. So we'll have the Caius, battle phase, attack the Caius. Maybe he has like 2 battle faders or something. Like something that doesn't really get him anywhere. Alright, pass the turn. We are dead to just about anything, though. Here comes Treeborn. Enemy controller does it. Monarch does it. Fucking even Stratos is really bad for us. Like, okay, that's not too terrible. We can synchro with the Gale into Android if we want to. It's kind of irrelevant. We can also just set the Raikou. Him letting us get damage is really good for us. I'm committing more to the board, but what else am I supposed to do, right? Like, I can't just randomly die, so. Yeah, I think it's right to commit more to the board here. It's right to commit the Raikou for sure. What could we draw? Get us out of this. Maybe Burial. Even that doesn't really do anything. 2300 is just a terrible stat line in this format. It's just really, really bad stat line. He could have... He was playing Instant Fusion, wasn't he? He could have Instant Fusions. That could be breaking his hand. Okay, maybe Instant Fusions, other weak heroes, maybe... But even something like Malicious Edge here is just lethal. Like, he just summons it and attacks the Raikou, like... And I'm just cooked, so... I don't really know. Maybe I was supposed to make Android. I don't know. I didn't want to throw away an additional card into a top-decked Monarch, basically. He's viewing his extra deck. Junk Synchron is good. Soul Exchange is good. That is good. Enemy controller sacrifices my monster, takes Gale. This is all good news for him. He can make Armory Arm here after having the Armed Wing. Yep. Oh, he can even make something better than that. That being said, what's he making? If he makes Mistworm, we could draw Brain Control. Otherwise, we're fucked. He should make Thought Ruler. I think Thought Ruler is the best thing for him to make here. If he has it in his extra deck. I don't know if he has room for it. Between the absolute zeros and, like, the other stuff, he might not have Thought Ruler. He might not even have. He's thinking here. Yeah, Thought Ruler is definitely the best one to make because Brain Control, obviously. It's one of the few cards left in my deck. I do like the fact that he's brought back the Treeborn Frog to wall. That is a smart play. Stardust Dragon. Okay, that's still similarly very difficult for me to deal with. That being said, Brain Control would have been lethal. Alas. Well, Turtle, I guess. I think that was our last turn of potentially getting out of this. He might give me another turn where Brain Control does win me the game, but realistically, probably not. Battle phase. Let's see what he wants to hit. I'd hit probably the Armed Wing. It doesn't really matter. Actually, yeah, I'd hit the Armed Wing because if I draw Plague, it's bad for him. Yeah, hitting the Set Monster doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Especially if it's like Raikou and I mill some cards and then I see Plague and then I'm able to stack for Plague and make my Synchro. Like, it's pretty bad. That being said, like, I fucking lose. Like, he hasn't had that many Monarchs this game. He's only had 3 in the top 23 cards of his deck. But these Frog Hero decks rarely play too many Monarchs. Usually like 4 or 5. Sometimes 6. Space Typhoon? Sure. You got me. Do you have a 500 attack point monster? No, he doesn't. Alright. I guess greater than 500. This has been a slow and painful death. Okay, well. This at least outs the Stardust. I'm going to hold the value in case we draw a Rhoda or second Grepher. Drawing back-to-back values really does solidify that I think this deck is not as good as everyone else thinks it is. Like, you're going to draw this card way more often than you think. Instant Fusion pays 1,000. He gets his hero. Here comes the miracle. And we can go next, finally. Oh, of course, yeah, same shit. Okay, next. Finally. Oh my gosh, that game was painful. So I'm gonna just go with the same sideboard plan. I am going first, so we'll bring in all this shit. Yeah, you know, Mind Crush out, Hamster out. I really don't like this matchup. It's really tough. Heavy Storm out. I forget what else I was siding out. 1 Raikou, I think. Cool. Let's run it. I don't know if my sideboard is really built for this. Deck dev might be okay. Just because it's a way to clear the dupe lock. But I don't know if it's better than, like, D Prison, you know? And plus he just has, like if I deck dev him and then he just has a Monarch, it's like, or a way to get a Monarch, like Treeborn or something, it's so bad. Alright, opening hand is solid. We have Dust Shoot, Rug, Raikou, which is like kind of best case in a lot of cases. Gonna set. We did draw Vayu, but that's been every game for us so far. The only games we haven't drawn Vayu and it's been bad are the games we had Grepher. So I think if I were to play this deck competitively, I would definitely... He's going to Chain Typhoon. That's good in case it's Mind Crush. He saw Mind Crush. Smart play from him. Actually, really smart play from him. Stratos, Dupe Frog, Dust Torrential. Alright, I'll take Stratos. Dupe, Miracle, Dust, Torrential. It's possible I should have waited for like an E-Caller or Rhoda, but I wanted to take Substitute or Swap Frog if he had it. Okay, shuffled, and cool. We do have Raikou. This does pop the Dupe Frog, and he has a dead Dust Tornado, dead Miracle. Kind of like my chances. That being said, he does have that Torrential, which is annoying. So we'll see how this goes down. I guess summoning Armageddon into Torrential isn't the worst situation. This is good because it means that I can't pop his back row if it's Raikou. We did hit Sirocco, which is very lucky. It's kind of exactly what we wanted to hit here. I don't know if he wants to even set that Torrential, but if I was him, I wouldn't. Because if he sets it and I summon something he doesn't want a Torrential, then his Treeborn's just kind of locked for a while. It's possible he wanted to just set the Dust Tornado here and then try to set up for a Torrential situation. We could go for a 50-50 with the Typhoon too. You know, fuck it. Let's do it. Just 50-50. Alright, we hit. Alright, we win. Let's go. Armageddon. Activate. Send Vayu. We got really lucky this game. We got a 50-50. We got a Sirocco mill. We got Dust Shoot in the opening hand. We got Gale to press extra damage. How do I want to utilize this Gale? Do I want to synchro? I don't have Android. I couldn't have made it last game anyway. Okay, well, in that case, let's just hit for a bunch. I think this is fine. Main phase 2. If he draws Stratos, he attacks over Gale. That is annoying. Yeah, let's just fucking synchro. Let's just synchro. Let's get an effect Armor Master. I think that's pretty strong. He has a locked up Dust. He can never utilize Treeborn for the rest of the game, as long as I don't set. He has a Miracle in hand. He needs to draw a hero. Cool. Game 3. Going second versus Frogs. I'm going to bring in Heavy Storm going second, just so we have a chance to hit his back row before we make our plays. Otherwise, this looks pretty tough. I can't lie. Heavy Storm's going to come in over Mirror Force. I'm going to couple Deep Prison too. Fuck it. They can't be that good, right? I guess they defend the Dinos if I have them. God, this matchup is annoying. I don't have the right configuration, I think. I think my sideboard is a little bit wonky for playing versus Hero Frogs with Instant Fusion. Because he can turn one the dupe lock really easily. Maybe I should have a deck dev over a Deep Prison because of that specifically. And deck dev off of 8 monsters? Sure. I'll try one. I'll try one. I don't think it's right to side it in normally, but because he has Instant Fusion and he can go for the dupe lock so easily, I just need to have an extra out to that. This hand is good. This hand is really good. This is the first hand we've had like Brain Dark Arm, like a broken looking hand. This deck is definitely broken when it draws the spells and doesn't draw value. This is our first broken hand of the day, more or less. The game 1 match 1 hand was pretty good because it was like value Armed Wing. But this hand is like genuinely broken. All right. How do you approach a hand like this, though? Do we just wait? No, right? Of course not. Rhoda for Armageddon. Armageddon send Plague. That's how we do it. Plague will give me a tribute fodder for Vanity's Fiend or a synchro play later in the game. I'm comfortable attacking into Gores here. I have Brain Control plus Dark Armed as ways to deal with it. I'm going to set my Pulling the Rug. I'm actually going to hold my Royal Oppression. Now that the Substitute has been activated, I'll just pass. I'm going to play around Heavy Storm a little bit, basically. Now that the Substitute has been activated, like I said, he's not going to give me a lot of other opportunities to utilize Royal Oppression. He's going to chain Space Typhoon on the Pulling the Rug. Cool. That's fine. So, whatever. You play around heavy, you get hit by Space Typhoon. It just happens. What can you do? That's life. Here comes a monster. Thestalos. This card is proving to be a pain in my ass. Hopefully he doesn't hit the Vanities or the Brain Control. The other 2 cards I'm cool with him hitting, though. If he hits the Royal Oppression, I'm ecstatic. Thank God. That was the worst card in our hand, so I'm happy that that's gone. This will attack over the Armageddon Knight. We lose the Armageddon Knight, whatever. You know? No biggie. No big deal. We draw Raikou. Cool. And now it's time for us to unleash a broken combination attack, which is Brain Thestalos, sack for Vanities. If he ever outs the Vanities, we have Dark Armed. Attack for 24. Pass the turn. This card really does go ham versus these types of decks. They usually have very limited outs. But who knows? Guess we'll see. Attack time. Could be Mirror Force. Nope. Stoop Frog. Sure. That could be Torrential too in the back row. We have to be careful of that. I don't really want to set the Raikou unnecessarily. Let's just pass. Because if we set the Raikou and he goes like Summon Swap Torrential, it's like I just lose the Raikou for no reason. So I'm chill with this situation. We'll pick up our card advantage hopefully by just running shit over with the vanities. Drawing bottomless is decent. It's not great, but it's decent. Yeah, so now we're back up to 5 cards, and our cards are pretty high quality, especially the Dark Armed and the Bottomless. He has 7 cards. He still does have more card advantage than us, but he has a couple of Swap Frogs, which don't do anything. So all they do is, like, buy him turns, basically. A step further. Deck Devastation Virus is decent. I am going to just swing. I was going to Trap Dust Shoot. Sure. You can see my hand. He does get to take Dark Armed here. That's a good draw for him. He takes my follow-up. But he still needs to deal with this Vanities Fiend, you know? That's the issue. Yeah, there's no way he doesn't take Dark Armed. I just don't... I don't know what you would want over Dark Armed here. Dark Armed. Yep, makes sense. I'm still attacking. I'm not thinking about this any further. Pardon me. I'm going to set the deck dev and just pass. If he clears the deck dev, I'm going to let him. But if he clears the vanities, we can chain deck dev, which is kind of cool. We did get pretty lucky drawing our 1 vanities this game. He's going to face Typhoon the deck dev. That means his hand is weak to deck dev. Either that or his outs involve stealing vanities. Which is fine again. Not that big of a deal. We don't have great follow-up, but we do have follow-up because we have Plague. So, it's something. Alright. More back row. Dark Grepher. That's really good follow-up. Let's just put him on a 2-turn clock. He's got Regeki Break. Okay. Well, he's low enough now to where this is okay. We set Raikou. We have the initiative. We pass the turn. We have Grepher, Sirocco. We have Bottomless to steal the initiative back, and then we can deal 4,400 next turn with Plague. Or more, honestly. We can deal 51 next turn. Here comes Treeborn. Only issue is Battle Fader, but I don't know if he would leave in Battle Fader versus our deck. We have Oppression, we have Dyna, and we have Vanity, so it's like kind of silly. And Deck Dev, so. This is going to hit the monster. He knows it's the Raikou. We'll chain the Bottomless. We still have the initiative, which is a good thing. He has no heroes down, so Miracle is just a dead card here. He's going to pass. We're going to draw. I'm going to draw D-Prison, and I'm just going to go for game. There's arguments not to, but there's just really no reason to not just force him to have an out in 3 cards. We'll activate Vayu first. This baits the DD Crow before draw locking ourselves. Banish, banish. Special summon Armed Wing. And then we'll stack for Plague. And this is game. So hopefully we win this match. GG's. Wow. GG's. We managed to do it. We managed to pull it out of nowhere. Out of our ass. So winning twice against a tough matchup. Leveraging some of our stronger cards, Vanity's Fiend. I'm really impressed with Vanity's Fiend the more I play this deck. I think it's much better than the Dyna. The Dyna seems a little bit hard to protect. But the Vanity's Fiend was very impressive this game. Happy we had that sideboard option. Now, he was on Thessalos, he was on some ways to attack the hand, but he was a little bit light on ways to attack the board. Normally, these decks are better at attacking the board and less good at attacking the hand. So, different strengths, different weaknesses, could be interesting. Tough one. Yeah, tough match. Okay, second deck time. We're going to switch over to Quick Draw. But yeah, overall, I think, like, if I was to play this deck again, some of the changes I'd probably make is I'd probably cut one of the Dynas and add another Vanities. I think that the Vanities is just a little bit stronger. Don't get me wrong, Dyna is nice, but I think Vanities is just a little bit stronger. I think you could probably get away with fitting a Dust Tornado in here somewhere, too. I think having a Dust Tornado isn't the worst option. Maybe over Starlight Road, have a Dust Tornado. I think that that's, like, just something I'd consider. Something a little bit more versatile. Also, DD Crow, if I'm not siding it in against Frogs, what am I siding it in against? The Mirror, I guess? I don't know if it's really worth the slots in the sideboard. It's probably good versus zombies, but so is like literally every other card in our sideboard. So maybe DD Crow isn't really where you want to be right now. It's a little bit low impact. Something food for thought, I suppose. For now, they stay though. I'm gonna switch over to Quick Draw, and we are gonna play some matches with Quick Draw versus him. This is my Quick Draw list that I've been kind of messing with. It does have 2 Thestalos, and it does have a Hamster in it right now, and it has Triple Debris, which, I don't know, kind of based, whatever. I guess we'll see. I've also been liking this tech, the 1 enemy controller, 1 compulsory evacuation device. Feng Shui got top 8 with those 2 tech cards at RBT1 this season, and what was I talking about? I was talking about something. Oh yeah, and someone recently destroyed me with that tech too. I was playing some friendly matches at and a California locals that I was at recently, and yeah, someone had, it was a very similar tech to the list that Feng Shui was playing with the enemy controller and the compulsory, and they both put in an incredible amount of work. So we shall see. This hand is good. This hand is genuinely good. We'll do one with this list and one with standard list. Sounds good. Whatever you want to do, man. I'm making Titanial. It's time. Summon Titanial. And this is an instance where, because I know what he's playing, I'm going to set Solemn Judgment. I wouldn't set Solemn Judgment if I didn't know what he was playing. But I guess we're giving you the I have some marginal information situation. Here comes Instant Fusion. I'm going to let this resolve. There's really no reason for me to stop this. I can just Solemn the next play. Instant Fusion's the -1, and then if he like summons a Substitute or something, I can just Solemn that. No big deal. I might not even Solemn a Substitute. I might just keep the Solemn. Sacks for Caius. Caius is going to target Titanial, I'm assuming. We're going to get it with Titanial. We could also Solemn this. I think it's an interesting situation where we don't yet have access to Dandelion, and I kind of just want to get my Titanial Dandelion going, and then get Quick Draw into Drill. So I think the best play here is to chill and vibe, you know? Just chill and just vibe. Summon Lone Fire, Battle Phase, attack for 500. No 2800 attack. Main phase 2, activate Lone Fire Blossom. Go grab Dandelion. And this is an instance of patience will give us the victory. We have inevitability. I don't need to attack with Titanial into Gores. I don't need to attack with Titanial into potential Tragodia, something like that. I don't need to give my opponent any sort of advantage because I'm going to win this game no matter if he's at 6,500 or if he's at 4,700 or 3,700 or whatever. I'm going to win this game no matter what because I have Quick Draw Dandy. And Quick Draw Dandy is lights out versus this deck. It just beats this deck. So, no matter what here, I'll be all right. And we don't need to play into anything that could potentially reversal us when we're sitting here at 4,000 life points, which is the only thing you really have to worry about with decks that have inevitability is your life total. So, yeah. Passes the turn. We draw Dandy anyway, which is pretty funny. We can do a couple of different things here. We could commit the Raikou, because now we do have Quick Draw Dandy. We could also just get the Drill going ASAP, which I think is totally acceptable. I think we want to sacrifice a token for it, question mark. To either sacrifice a token or like pitch Raikou. But I think it's fine to sack the token. Oh, I guess if I pitch Card Trooper, I can set Raikou too. How does that work? This makes it. And then I have a set Raikou, drill space, token. No, I would lock myself out if I pitch Dandy that way. No reason to do that. Let's just sacrifice the token. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it straightforward. Let's make Drill Warrior. We have the extra Dandy now, so this is like just pretty much guaranteed going to take over this game. We'll attack for 1200 directly first, and then we'll hit the Stratos first or second. I do this to play around Gores. This doesn't play around Battle Fader as well, but him having a Stratos in play doesn't really change much. So yeah, drill, pitch Dandy, banish, special 2 more tokens, and pass the turn. So situation still is he could summon Treeborn, he could summon something else, attack over both tokens, activate a targeting effect, force my Titanial. I will negate it, but then he can't game shot me because he's already spent his battle phase in order to do that. And then I just get Drill Dandy back next turn, and it's like, how do you ever win? You can't win through that without specifically main deck vanities or whatever the fuck else. Yeah. Here comes Special Evil Guy. This is done at the behest of not summoning a Treeborn. Oh, he doesn't even have Treeborn. Yeah. This is all okay. Honestly, what he should do here is clear the tokens, but maybe he's trying to board lock me or something like that. I don't really know. In any case, it's really not that big of a deal. We could even start going double drill if we need to hasten the clock, and I think we will. I think if he doesn't attack the tokens, which he should do, we will go double drill to hasten the clock. I'll just give him 1 turn to basically out the situation at hand, and yeah. Attacks the token. Okay, he is going to attack the tokens. That's good. That's smart. But again, it's like Drill Dandy's just crazy in this matchup. Yeah. I really like Quick Draw. I keep being more and more impressed with the deck. The more I play against it, the more I play with it. I actually played against my friend who's like really strong Quick Draw player the other day, and he like 11 0'd me with Quick Draw. And I played him with Black Wings, Vayu Turbo, Frogs, like Hero Beat, Diva Hero. I literally gave him the gauntlet of like every meta deck, and he just beat every single one. 2 matches each. It was crazy. It's definitely one of the strongest decks in the format, probably. Okay, Drill comes back. We are facing down a background now, which is a bit of a concern. Could be Mirror Force. There's really no reason for us to not switch the Titanial to defense and have our Drill, though, because we have Quick Draw Dandy. So it's like, there's really no reason not to just do this and then attack for 12. And let's see if he wants to spend his back row to stop this situation. He does need to out the Drill eventually, you know. But we have the Princess, we have the Drill, we have Gores, we have another Drill, we have Raikou too. He's really thinking here. There's no question in my mind, if I have Mirror Force, I'm spending it on Drill Warrior. Oh, he's thinking about what he wants to discard with Regeki Break. He's going to target Titanial. That's okay. He's going to take 12. Main phase 2. Effective banish. Pitch Dandelion. Get ourselves some tokens. And on top of that, we can set Raikou. So we become even more safe. This Raikou's not at risk of locking out our Drill Warrior because both our Dandelions are in the grave. And so we can start thinking about sideboarding. If we look at our deck, we've got Triple Breaker, which is a card I am very happy with, but it's not going to do us much favors here. We've got a single DD Crow and a single Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. I might side in the Kaiku, but I probably won't side in the Crow. I might side in the Crow, who knows. Here comes Kaya's, target the set monster. Again, we have Gores, so this is like... And he's not even attacking over it with the Dupe Frog because it's a damage risk. It's a damage liability. So, yeah. Subsitoad, main phase 2, activate, sacrifice, go get the last Dupe Frog, I'm assuming. That's the only thing that makes sense. Yep. This way he's able to keep all his monsters in defense position. Pot of Avarice is really nice here. Let's go drill. We basically have to add back Dandy, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. I will Pot of Avarice though, just because why not? You know? We have everything we need. Why not just do this? Plus we could potentially find lethal here. Brain Control will give us game. A couple other cards will give us game. Does Caius give us game? If we go 12-12, Caius for burn is game, yeah. So let's activate Quick Draw, pitch Dandy, special, get 2 tokens. This does kind of get fucked by Battle Fader pretty hard, but we're doing what we can. Make second drill, 1200, 1200. Yeah, attack directly. He's gonna take 12, attack directly. Yep, and then main phase 2, attack for Caius. Target itself. That's gonna be 1,000. Cool. Sideboarding. I do like Haiku the Ghost Destroyer. I do like Pulling the Rug. I do like Vanities. So we have at least 5 decent cards. Soul Exchange isn't bad either. So we have 7 decent cards. I don't like Heavy Storm that much. Titanium plus Solemn so brutal when you don't draw Miracle. Yes, I agree. When you don't draw Miracle, the Frog Hero deck, generally speaking, is pretty underpowered. So that's kind of a big issue with the deck. Miracle is like kind of the card you need to draw. I'm going to side out Super Nimble. I think it's pretty bad. I'm probably going to side out, I don't know, maybe a Thestalos because it's like kind of silly. I'm going to side out Dust Tornado. I don't think we need 2 of them. I'm going to leave in the Space Typhoon just because Mirror Force is annoying. But it's possible I do want the Dust Tornado. I'm actually going to side out a Quick Draw and a Debris. Possibly even 2 Debris. But I think siding out one of each is okay. Debris is pretty good, though. Maybe Quick Draw is pretty good, too. It's just like, is post-board game plan going to have Vanities? It's going to have DD Crow. It's going to have there's all sorts of issues for us. All sorts of problems. Maybe we cut Charge. Charge fuels Avarice, but seems a little bit weak. Let's try this. Let's just try this. I don't think I was playing Charge, actually, in my other list in paper. Thessalos might still be good enough. Some of these other cards, like Sangin, might be a little sus. But it's just, you know, whatever. Sangin's decent if we draw, like, Torrential or specifically Torrential. Maybe Enemy Controller he's okay with. I think this is an okay. I don't think it's, like, that complicated. We could side out Mirror Force for, like, Dust Tornado or something like that. Like, but it's not that deep, you know? Like, ultimately, this matchup's going to come down to how we sequence our cards and less, like, specific micro changes. We did open Titanial, but we also opened Gorge Trag and Soul Exchange, as well as Pulling the Rug. So, I'm going to be honest, I can't complain about this hand. It's pretty good. It's, like, just kind of all around solid. If he has Vanity's Fiend, that's where things start to become an issue. Just Drago is fine. Even if we're M-phase discarding, so is he, you know. Either that or he's committing into our Soul Exchange. Okay, let's see what we draw. Solemn Based. Okay. I think we want to end phase discard Titanial. Either that or we commit one of these. I'm not sure which one to commit. Probably Pulling the Rug. It's the least committal. It shuts off our Gores, though, which is annoying. I still will commit it, though. Because that means he can't Monarch my Trag main phase 2. It also stops Stratos if he finds that and wants to use that to play into back row. Without me having to pay half my life. I think I'm going to hold the Solemn, though. Standby phase. He's probably thinking about Dust Tornadoing me. Didn't want to. Interesting. It's going to be a bit of a stalemate, I see. I see. Raikou would be a good draw. Swap Frog activates the effect. I'll pulling the rug that. I don't know why, but why not? Maybe I was supposed to take the 1,000. Ooh, second soul exchange. Now I will set the solemn. Pass. So if he commits a second monster, we can double soul exchange into titanium. It is a little annoying, but it can be done. Dust Shoot is a great draw. We're going to set it. We'll pass. I do want to see what he's working with. End-phase Regeki Break. I was going after my back row. Interesting. Do I want to let that resolve? Or do I want to Dust Shoot him? I think it's fine. I think it's totally chill. He can now go for this Treeborn. All of this is okay. I'm pretty sure this is fine. Especially if it's like Ryza. That would be the best. Caius. Sure. You can have your Caius. I don't want to pay 4,000. He might not attack me, then I get a double Soul X. He might attack me, then I get Gores. So it's a win-win, really. Yeah, we're going to go Gores first. Normally I'd say go Trag first, but in this matchup, we're going to go Gores first, just to get the bodies. Draw our own Caius, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and run over his monsters. Let's clear the Caius with the Gores. And then attack the set monster. This is in case the set monster is Flip-Flop Frog or Fossil Dyna, which the deck plays both of. Or it can play both of, I should say. So we know his hand is Swap, and that's it. We just know Swap Frog. Okay, cool. Chill. Pass a turn. Even one Monarch here doesn't really get him where he wants to go. He needs to have like enemy controller Monarch. He needs to have a 2-card combination attack, basically. It's possible I should have taken that as an opportunity to soul exchange out Christia, but it just makes my Trag weaker. I don't really like that. You know, I like playing the Trag and then maybe going for the soul exchange Christia, or not Christia, sorry, Titanial. Brain control. So this is a combination attack I was talking about. He'll take the token. He'll sack it for Caius. Caius will target the Gores. We'll take 1,000. He'll attack for 24. We'll be able to special summon Tragodia. And hopefully figure something out here. Not sure what. All right. If we attack over the Caius at Rug, that's interesting. I think we'll steal the Caius, actually. Yeah, I think this is better. Because if we steal the Caius, then we can have big strong boy. We have 2 big strong boys basically. One of them significantly bigger and or stronger boy. It's bad if he has Gores. Specifically Gores. I will set the Rug and I'll pass. Makes them both 2,400. Alas, here we are. We die to enemy controller with Monarch in hand because he can enemy control the Tragodia, pitch the Monarch, and steal the Caius. Maybe I should have main phase 2 sacked for Titanial, but then it's like, it just feels like I'm not getting the best value out of my cards by doing that. I think I may have sequenced this game poorly by dropping to 2,200. It's possible that that's the case. I think if you had enemy controller, you would have spent it instead of brain control, though, because brain control is better. There's Heavy Storm. That does suck for me, but alas, here we are. He does have enemy controller. Does he have a Monarch? He's going to take the Trag. I mean, there's no question about it. You take the Trag. He might just crash. Oh, he does have a Monarch. I'll let him attack. Normal swap. Okay. We knew about this. Yeah, this is good even after a fader because he could bounce his own Kayas. Yeah, I should have put the Titanium into play. That was a mistake on my part, but I would have died to the Thestalos either way. Most likely. Yeah, because he had Heavy Storm. So that didn't work out too well. I'll just say it. Didn't work out too well. He did have enough back row that I kind of do want Dust Tornado more than like Mirror Force. I really wasn't a big fan of Soul Exchange there. It did not seem impressive at all in the slightest. I'm going to bring in the Dust. I'm going to bring in the Quick Draw. And I am going to go from there. I think going first, just having double Quick Draw is good. Plus the Dusts. It's like, I'm going to make a drill and I'm going to have Dust for your Regeki Break, and you're not going to have an out. That's the game plan, I guess. That's where we're at. I believe. That game things did not pan out super well. Took 2 big hits, and then we were just kind of a Monarch away from death. And he had the number of Monarchs in order to make that happen. It was like double Kaios Thestalos. Sometimes you can put them on just not having the 3rd Monarch, because like I said earlier, they usually play like 5 or 6 in the Hero Frog lists. But I lost my train of thought. All right. What is he siding against us? We didn't see any side cards from him. Yeah, we just didn't see any. We saw the Soul Exchanges. They were not it. I'll just say it. They were not it. This hand is beautiful. This hand is so good. This hand is Quick Draw Dandy. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I gotta make the right token. There it is. Make drill. Pitch trag. Vanish. Set Sangan. Set bottomless pass. I do want Sangan in play so that if his turn is like slow, if it's like set Treeborn or like set Regeki Break or something like that, I can sacrifice Sangan for Kaius and progress next game. I can progress quite a bit too, because let's say he does have that Regeki Break. I'm adding back Dandelion, and then I can also search for another Quick Draw so I can go for the second drill. So I just basically am forcing him to have repeated drill outs throughout this entire game, and it's going to be difficult for him. I'll say that much. We're going to make this a difficult situation. Oh my gosh, he just doesn't have anything. That is crazy. This is going to add back Dandelion, obviously. We have a couple of options here, but I think the best one is obviously just sack for Kaius and target his monster. Activate, target the monster. Sangan search. Sangan's going to go get us probably debris here. Could get us Treeborn too, which is interesting. I'm not sure which is better. Debris, Treeborn, debris, Treeborn, debris, Treeborn. Could also get us Quick Draw, but we can always add back the Quick Draw. I'll just grab Treeborn. I think it's like the coolest one. I'm going to have the drill because it's the same clock. If I go 36 into 48, it's game. And this is also better if he has Gore's Trag, because I hit for 24, he drops Gore's, and then I can at least connect for another 1200. Yeah. So this guarantees me additional damage through Gore's Trag. Main phase 2, I'm going to activate Drill Warrior. I'm going to pitch Treeborn Frog. Most likely, yeah. Banish my boy. Pass the turn. Cool. So we have Bottomless to stop Vanities. He doesn't have any back row to stop the drill. The drill is like for sure coming back next turn. It can get us back Sangan. It can get us back Quick Draw. Lone Fire is going to go crazy here because it gets us the Titanial. This is going to be a very, very, very difficult game for him to win. Oh my god, and I drew Avarice too. That's just crazy. All right, let's go Drill Warrior. This is going to add back the Quick Draw. So now I have the backup Quick Draw Dandy in hand. And then I can go for the Lone Fire into Titanial. Now. And I'm going to do that. Sack the token. GG's. GG's. This deck looks insane when it draws like this. It like literally looks like the best deck in the format. Oh my gosh. Okay. Change the list, question mark. And we'll get one more match for you guys. Pretty exciting stuff. I get a really lot of enjoyment out of playing Quick Draw. I think it's just a fun and sweet deck, and you get to play cool cards, and you know, I'm just out here having a good time. Playing the other deck, it was just like, I'm gonna summon my 2300 vanilla, and I'm gonna activate Oppression, and maybe that'll be good enough. And the games where you lose with Value Turbo are so miserably unfun. Whereas I feel like the games you lose with Quick Draw, it's like, oh, that was a close game. Like the game where we had the soul exchanges in Titania, like that was a very interesting game. That was a game that could have gone a bunch of different ways. Had I sequenced it a bunch of different ways, or had you had different draws, like it was just an interesting game to lose. And that's why I like Quick Draw so much, is like even when you're losing, you're like kind of enjoying the game. Whereas like with Value Turbo, like when I'm losing with that deck, it's like, oh, I drew another Value. Oh, I drew another Plague. Oh, I drew another whatever. It's just like miserable. The experience is really frustrating. That being said, this hand is something that's very reminiscent of the hand we had in the Value Turbo matchup, where we had a Raikou, we had a Caius, but we were just going second, and we didn't have the initiative. Hamster here is good if he doesn't have a Monarch follow-up, but if he does have a Monarch follow-up, I fucking lose. So here we are. Don't sack for Caius, please. I could have compulsed his Stratos to get the initiative, but bro, I am not compulsing a Stratos. I'm just taking a gamble he doesn't have a Monarch, okay? That's it. That's how it's going. If he has a Monarch, alright, you got me. What can I do? You know? At least he doesn't have Treeborn going, you know? Here comes Ocean. Very happy about this. Okay, that Ocean's going to attack. It's going to be Hamster. Hamster's going to activate. This will special summon out Raikou. The first time I've drawn Hamster in a very long time, and the fact that it's resolving is just kind of cool. It's just kind of cool, because when I drew it with the other deck, I don't think it resolved. We're going to pop the Ocean. It's the better card to pop here. Mill 3. Did not hit our Dandelion, but we hit 3 monsters, and that's pretty much as good as you can ask for. Or 2 monsters, but that's honestly like about as good as it gets with this. Main phase 2 is just going to pass. On our turn, we're going to draw Brain Control. How unique. So if he miracles into Absolute Zero, we have Compulse for it. So I'm pretty happy just going. Alternatively, we have Compulse for everything else too. Alright. What's the plan? Are we Caiusing or are we Thestalos? I think we Thestalos, because this gives us a chance to hit the Miracle as well. Alright. Gonna roll a 6. Pick that one. Hitting Heavy Storm. Pretty happy about that. That was a nice hit. Go ahead and run over the Stratos. He can Miracle here. But we traded the Thestalos and the Compulsory and the Hamster for Heavy Storm Stratos. Maybe not that good. Maybe not that good of an exchange. We'll see, though. I do like the exchange in which he doesn't have Treeborn in play, because our deck is better when nothing is happening, because we have inevitability. So it's possible I should have miracled, but I didn't want him to do something like, oh, he has this special guy anyway. Yeah, that's fine. What is it? Sack for Caius, target the back row most likely. If he's going to go Miracle, he's going to target the back row. Oh, he's going to hit the Thestalos. So if I compulse the Thestalos, I can Brain Caius, sack for Thestalos, and try to hit another card out of his hand. Either that or I save the compulsory for his Absolute Zero, and I take 24, but then I have no conversion off Brain, but I can Debris Dragon. I think this is okay. Because we have Raikou and Grave. So I can go Iron Chain and run over the Caius. It'll be a bit unlucky if we mill a Treeborn, but I think it's fine. And it saves our Brain Caius play for like later, which is kind of cool. This is game 1, so I am safe doing this into DD Crow, basically. It's going to get me my Iron Chain Dragon. I'll run over the Caius. I'll mill 3 cards for him, unfortunately, but it's just the way it goes. Hopefully no Treeborn here. Very nice. Yes, 3 cards I didn't want him to draw. So, very happy no Treeborn there. Yeah, we already normal, so we just pass. Nothing crazy here. Nothing serious. Even if he goes Miracle, it's just 1-for-1 trains with Iron Chain. So, pretty happy about this. Pretty happy. Gorza is a good draw. It basically means we're pretty secure with our situation. Here comes Junk Synchron that can bring out the evil guy. He can now make a Catastor. I am not pressed by this. I am not pressed by this with even one slight thing. Here comes the Catastor. I'll just compulsory his shit. It's fine. I'm very impressed with compulsory in this deck. I think it's one of the best decks to play one in. Trap Dust Shoot, very strong. Very, very strong. Here, I'll pretty happily hit because we drew the Dust Shoot. He's got Gores. Okay. We can do a couple of things about this Gores. We didn't even mill a Treeborn yet. That's so funny. Main phase 2. Main phase 2. Whenever it's lagging, I'm going to Brain Caius because I haven't spent that play yet. Vanish Gores. Alright, cool. That'll deal an extra 1,000. Set Dust Shoot and possibly checkmate situation. He could still have Miracle here, but Miracle only stabilizes. So we'll see. What is he typing? If you wanted a turn player Space Typhoon or something? If he did, he can just Typhoon the Dust Shoot. That's fine. I'll take the trade. And gotta reveal it. What? You gotta reveal the hand. For some reason, I am not seeing his hand. Is it lagging or something? Is it not letting you show hand? Interesting moment. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's happening here. This is a strange moment in time. I could make Photon Strike Bouncer with these two. Kappa. Alright, in the comments section, let me know below what you think is winning RBET Rulers. I personally think Blackwings and Fairy are the two best decks to play for the event. But there's a lot of different decks that could win it. Oh, he's back. He's back. Treeborn, Dupe Frog, and Soul Exchange. Disconnect. Oh. Yeah, gotta take the Substitute there, yeah. He's got the Soul Exchange, so, yeah. No problem. He's back! Yep. Sets the Dupe or the Treeborn. Doesn't really matter. It's all the same. Second Iron Chain is game, so. I don't even have to synchro. Cool. Awesome. So that was game 1. Pretty straightforward stuff. I don't really remember how I was siding, but I think it was like this, kind of. And I'm going to side out it's like 1 Thestalos, Mirror Force, Heavy Storm, Hamster, 1 Debris. What was the last card? Charge. Alright, fuck it. Charge might be too good to cut. It might be better than Raikou. Outright. Yeah, because it mills up front, and it gives us more chances of hitting Dandelion, like, without having to play into the guy. It might be wrong to leave it in, but we'll see. We'll see. I generally don't love charging this deck. That's why I like Side It Out a lot, because I don't normally main it, but I had it in this list just because it was a template list that I copied from, like, someone. I don't remember. But I generally don't play charge and quick draw, which maybe I should. It's kind of a good card. It's not a bad card. It's just not like would I play a fourth or a fifth Raikou? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know. Maybe. Maybe it's good. Alright. Opening hand, we have Dust Tornado to trade with his back row. We've got Card Trooper. I'm pretty comfortable going for the Card Trooper because I have Solemn to defend him. So I'm going to mill 3. Very, very unfortunate mill. All of these would have been good draws because we have Treeborn. That being said, I think it's just set 3 time and pass. Does he have something for the boy? Does he have something for the guy? Apparently not. Interesting. Heavy Storm. Pro heavy. I don't like that. I'll solemn it. That's pretty good though. Summon Card Trooper, yeah. That's gonna work. You really only set the pro heavy if you have either a speed play or you have no play or you have a lot of back row. And you need to heavy storm second turn in order to set your back row. Either way, both of his Treeborns being in the grave, me drawing Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, the fortune is unreal right now. I'm getting so rewarded. I'm like, and I have the Dust Tornado for the back row. And I have this. Yeah, that's why you would set pro heavies to... Oh my god. This is so devastating. This is so devastating. Activate. I'm hitting both those bitches, dude. Oh my gosh. Heavy Storm is gone too. I'm just setting it. Pass. He has no tribute fodder. He has no soul exchange plays because I have compulsory. He has no brain control plays because I have compulsory. He has no miracle plays because I have Kaiku in play. He has no graveyard. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pitch special swap. Have to do this. Activate, probably sending the other dupe or a Substitute or something like that. I don't know. I wouldn't have maybe sent here. I think drawing Substitute is actually not a bad draw. You honestly could have just set the Dupe Frog too. This seems a bit extreme. So he's going to activate this. I think I'm going to let this go through. Unless he has Unifrog, I don't really get punished too much. And one of the dupes is gone. So I can just like compulse his guy and like just, you know, like, okay. I can just compulse this guy, you know? And just run over the Substitute, because one of the dupes is gone. Like, what is the... He does have Unifrog. Interesting. Yeah, this is just a classic case. Unifrog attacks. I compulse the Dupe Frog. I take 400. But then I just run over the Unifrog, and he has nothing in play. Please give me... Oh my god, that is so fucking good here. Holy shit, that is so fucking good. Alright, we're going to banish the Dupe Frog, and we are going to banish the Swap Frog. We are going to set Raikou and pass. This game has been so mean. It's been so mean. That was the most disgusting Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer top deck. It was so good. It was so fucking good, dude. This card is ridiculous. Oh, man. Here comes Alias. There goes Alias. Get that motherfucking card out of here. None of that shit. None of that shit. And now it is Jover. We win, right? Hold up. Hold up. I have game. And I'm going to go for it. Mill 3. Synchro. Make Nitro Warrior. Battle phase. Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer attacks. GG's. GG's. Oh my gosh. He had double miracle with the face up. Dude, that Kaiku was insane. I destroyed every ghost. Well, that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed this type of thing, smash like, subscribe. And if you guys want to see something specific, let me know in the comments below. And I'm excited for our BT rulers. I'll see you guys this weekend. Peace.